Evan, you get Dean in. As you look back though at the regional, how did you feel your team wrestled overall?
Not particularly well overall. We had one round in particular that really hurt us. It was the consolation quarterfinal round, where if you win, you place in the tournament at least and have a shot to keep going for a qualifier spot. And I think we were 0 for 6 in that round, and it was just a tough round for us. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I mean, obviously the level of competition was pretty high, but I think a lot of those were winnable matches, and that was the round I think that as a team really hurt us.
So Dean goes back now. Was it nice taking a wrestler back that has at least that experience at that level now?
Yeah, I'm really excited for him. I mean, he really is kind of a success story. I mean, his freshman record was 2-17, and he didn't like it, and he made a decision that he wasn't going to settle for that, and that he had much bigger things to accomplish, and he really bought in 100% and put a ton of effort into everything he was doing with his training, and each year got better and better, and so it's really neat to see him accomplish this and become first team all conference and earn a spot in the national tournament. And I think right now he's 23-3, so that's a pretty big turnaround. So he's the type of guy that we're going to be using a lot as an example to our younger guys. If you didn't have a very good season this year, it's not too late to turn it around. And Dean's a perfect example of that. So I'm really excited for him. It's going to be a tough tournament, but obviously I think he's got a good shot at getting in there to be an All-American, which is the ultimate goal, of course.
What were the circumstances behind Dean's freshman season where you kept sending him out there if he's only 2-7?
We had so Dean was a part of my first recruiting class, really, and the year before that was basically I started late in the year and didn't really have a chance to recruit. We were forfeiting 125 and 133 that first season I was here, so we were pretty desperate for lightweights, and we got a group of guys in. Dean was one of them. Part of the reason his record wasn't great is because we had to use him up at 133, and he was way too small for the weight class. But he was probably just not quite really ready for this level yet. He would have been the type of guy a red shirt would have really benefited, but we needed him at the time, and so he was ready to step in there for us. And obviously didn't see the success he wanted, and like I said, he made a decision to turn it around.
Does that kind of stuff translate to these younger guys now, seeing Dean?
Yeah, I really think it will. I mean, especially some of the lighter weights that are in there training with him on a daily basis. But the whole team sees, that Dean, he focuses on every little detail. Everything's perfect. He's the one staying after practice, getting extra work in. He's the one in the mornings getting extra work in. He definitely sets an example on a daily basis. He's a team captain for a reason, and not only just how he trains, but how he competes. I mean, he lays it on the line every single time out there, and competes with heart and fight and emotion. And I know our younger guys are going to see that because they saw him have a great dual meet season. He was 8-0 in the conference. I think his regular season was, the best any wrestlers had here in the Division II era. And so guys are going to notice that, and they're going to see what he's doing that makes him successful, and hopefully buy into that themselves, and hopefully we can have more Deans in the future.
What's the schedule look like going towards nationals for Dean as far as training, things like that? And when you get there, do we know, obviously it's still early, but do we know who he'll square off against, things like that?
Not quite. So they're in the pre-seeding process right now. I think there's a chance Dean will get in for like a 7 or 8 seed, but it's going to be pretty tight. That loss in the finals kind of hurt him in terms of common opponents and things like that. But I believe he should be a top 8 seed. I think he's got one of the best records in the tournament, I guess, out of all the qualifiers. And he's got some good wins. He beat a super region champion from North Carolina Pembroke, and so I think he could get in for a seed, but we'll see. We won't know that until the end of the week. But in terms of his schedule, we're going to leave on Wednesday, probably train in the morning, and then get on the road Wednesday, get all the way to Sioux Falls, and then Thursday will be kind of, for Dean, it'll be kind of a training day. A lot of things going on with coaches' meetings and different things things that day. But then first round is Friday at 11 a.m. and it'll just be one match, and then there's a break, and they come back and kind of do the parade of national qualifiers, and then you get a round or two in that afternoon, and then just depending on how you're doing, kind of goes from there. Thursday's actually fairly similar kind of a day. So in terms of his training, we've got a good group of lightweights in the room, and today we're going to have a normal regular team practice, and then after today we might start doing some things a little bit different in terms of having Dean work out at 11 a.m. when the tournament starts, different things like that. But we're going to be giving him a variety of practice partners, give him a lot of different looks, and we're going to base our training off of how he's feeling on a day-to-day basis, and I think we have a pretty good plan moving forward. I think we're going to look at kind of simulating a tournament for him late in the week, maybe Friday and Saturday even, where he wrestles matches at the times, the same time of day where he's going to